I remember when I bought my first camera, I thought I had to be a photographer. And then I got into video and I thought I had to be a videographer. And then same thing for digital art, I thought I had to be an artist. And then I got into music production and I thought I had to be a full-time producer. Every time I changed focus or had a new interest, I felt like I had to leave the other forms of creation behind. Like I had to have only one focus, one medium. Not only that, I felt that every time I got into something new, I had to do what was popular, what was trending, what was working for everybody else. Whether that was the looks, the feel, the message. The problem is when we put these restrictions on how we allow ourselves to express ourselves, we limit what we can create and what we can do. I have decided that being a full-time musician or producer is not what I want to do, that being a full-time digital artist is not what I want to do. However, I've realized over time that doesn't mean I can't implement them as side projects, as hobbies, or into what my main focus is. Why not film a video, add illustrations on top, and produce a backtrack for it? I think the reason that myself and others struggle with this tug of war between mediums when it comes to content creation or any sort of creative expression is because artists and creatives are naturally perfectionists. They feel that everything they create must be the best thing they've ever created. We will often have these preconceived ideas and standards that if we don't hit, we think it's not worth our time and energy to even produce it. But that's the furthest from the truth. I've made a lot of music. I've made a lot of shitty music. I've made a lot of pretty decent music. And even though most of it will never see the light of day, every bit of it has taught me something. And this goes for everything that I've created or you've created, whether it's photography, painting, music, it doesn't matter. It has all helped me grow as an artist. I spend most of my time now filming videos because it's what I find true fulfillment in and what I find to be the easiest way to express myself and my thoughts and what I'm feeling. However, if you look through my content and you see what I produce, you can see other forms of artistic mediums and expression that I use throughout my content. Whether it's producing a backtrack for the music for the video when I can't find one that I like, or adding illustrations when I speak to better visualize my dialogue. I'm always pulling inspirations to create my own style. If you've ever seen an interview with a music artist and they're asked who their biggest inspiration is, oftentimes it's not even another music artist. It might be a fashion designer, it might be a painter, it might be a speaker. That's because art is not a linear plane. It's a hive of ideas that come together to create a body of work. Whether or not you hear it, see it, or feel it. We can take cinema. It uses visual elements like composition, color grading, movement to keep your eyes drawn to the screen. It also takes advantage of your hearing by adding music and sound effects to emphasize certain parts of the scene. We can even take it a step further and talk about dialogue and the script and the style of grammar that writers will use to set the mood for a certain actor. You can see quite easily how powerful it can be to have multiple skill sets as a creative. This doesn't mean you have to be really good at a bunch of things or use every single one every single time that you create something. It just means that you will be a much more versatile creative and artist when you can pull from all these other inspirations. To better explain this thought process, I have a challenge. Find your favorite piece of art, whether it's a movie, album, a painting, whatever it is. Now ask yourself what your preferred style of expression is. Maybe it's photography, video, same thing applies. Now take your favorite body of work and try remixing it and creating it and turning it into something that you would make with your preferred medium and see what you create. I think it also shows you that just because you think you're not good at something like music or video or photography, that maybe you actually do have an eye for it. Maybe you're a painter and you have a camera but you're afraid to use it, but little do you know, you have a great understanding of composition and that translates really well into photography and video. So you might have skills that are applicable and that you could use as hobbies to better express yourself. In conclusion, don't think you have to be the best at everything you do, and don't think you have to limit yourself to one form of expression. You should explore anything that piques your interest because you never know what you might be really great at and what you might be able to use in other forms of your work.